After Hours. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the After Hours podcast. This week, I have another great pleasure of bringing on a gentleman by the name of Asaf German, somebody who, when I actually moved into a new location in my business about 2.5 years ago, I remember one of my loan officers, Jared Thorborn, was I think maybe walking down the staircase, and he saw the suit on this guy, and I think right away, I know my friend Jared, he had to say something, and I think that's kind of where the relationship maybe started. And whatever we heard, I've always heard great things about you in the business, and it's a pleasure to have you on the podcast today. So, Asaf, thanks for coming out today, brother.
Happy to be here. It's an honor to be here.
Yeah, if you want to just introduce yourself, give a little bit of a background to the audience,
Uh,
kind of who you are and what
my
you
name
do.
is Asaf German. I'm a real estate attorney. I have the honor and the privilege of representing buyers, sellers, lenders. Um, I teach. I love educating. Uh, Imagine everybody that we dealt with on a daily basis knew more of what they were doing,
Right,
how much better our lives would be, our professions would be, how our systems would be. So,
of course. There's a couple. I've heard some amazing things that you've accomplished in life, and I know from when you spoke, when you speak to me and my team, and some of the conversations we have. Not only do you like speaking on some of the successes that you've gone through, you always like to focus on, how can we help people get through some of the challenges that you've gone through, and to help the younger generation like us, and you know, because you've been through some of those things, it's honorable to be able to speak to you about some of that stuff. The one thing that really amazed me when I met you is that I heard you were the man of the year, for an award. Um, and I wanted to kind of speak about that. You had said that was maybe, or not really the turning point in your career, but that kind of lifted you to new heights, in your business. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
2019, I was nominated for Man of the Year. I thought it was a joke when I was nominated for it. I was nominated for Man of the Year by the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. It's the biggest blood cancer organization in the world.
It's amazing.
A client of mine nominated me. Um, I wasn't sure where it came from. I had no experience, no connection to cancer. I've never asked anybody for a penny in my life. They educated me. They surrounded me with some amazing people. One thing led to another with a tremendous amount of work, with a team of 72 amazing, like minded people. Together as a team, we won. We broke every record in history,
It's amazing.
and I won Man of the Year, and it kind of changed my mindset of life um, in many ways.
Yeah, I mean, just thinking about people going through that in their life and being able to.
Well, for somebody like me, I grew up in a bubble, and what I mean is I didn't get sick. I was that kid in the streets playing with shorts and a t-shirt and no snow, and I never missed a day of school in my life for being sick. So when they nominated me for something like this, um, I don't know where it came from because I had no connection to it.
Yeah,
But after spending time with these children and their families, kind of changed my perspective of life, changed my mindset of life as to what's important, what's not important. I realized the importance of your health. That also changed the way I think about things and the way I live my life. We think about making money and this and that, but
you realize what's really important
yeah,
when it comes down.
health is
Yeah,
true wealth.
health
It
is
really
true wealth.
is, and all these things together just kind of changed my perspective, the way I think, the way I live, uh, and the way I choose to do things or not do things in life.
No, of course. No, that's amazing. I know, along with you winning that award and being a part of such an amazing cause, you also have been extremely successful in the real estate business. You won Man of the Year in the
2019.
2019. Was that for just being like one of the top or the top real estate attorney on Long Island, or
Well, that was last year.
that was last year?
The Man of the Year was just for the Leukemia Lymphoma
Okay.
Society.
And last year you won the top real estate attorney on Long Island.
I, I've been,
Well, you are the top real estate attorney on Long Island. We know that.
I'm just happy to be here.
No, listen, and I appreciate
It's
it,
an
brother.
honor to be here. You know, it
Um,
is. Everything that transpires in my life, I always put together to the team, to the people in my life.
of course.
You know, to be up here in life, which is where we strive to be, it's only possible with amazing people. In our world, there are so many moving parts, especially in our real estate world. We all play different positions,
Right.
right? And collectively, to win, just like in sports, you need a team. And where I've been blessed is the people in my life. I'm surrounded by some incredible human beings. They say no one's irreplaceable. I have a few irreplaceable people in my life, and I wouldn't be here today without them. Yes, I work hard. That's great. A lot of people work hard.
Of course.
Yes, I'm a nice guy. That's great. A lot of people are nice people. But to be up here, it's all about the people that you're aligned with, right? It's very easy to find people. It's very hard to find good people. So one of the keys is when you find those people, to hold on to them for dear life. And the people in my team, they don't work for me. They're my family.
Yeah.
We do anything for each other, with each other 10, 15 hours a day. And all of the success that I have is really, I attest to them.
No,
I really do.
That's amazing. No, I commend you for
My
that.
life would be different without them.
A lot of people that are successful, I feel like, just give themselves all the credit, and for you to give the credit to, your
I,
team.
I'm just being very honest, and
No, of course.
I'm keeping it real. That
Yeah.
to be up here, which is where I strive to be at all times,
You need those people around you.
they must be there because there's only so many hours in a day. There's only so much you can do, and to be the best, you need those people, and that's where I really got blessed.
Yeah. To kind of circle back, and I don't necessarily know if I remember if you ever told me this. How did you get into the real estate business?
I
Was that
came-
so?
Easy. I came out of. I didn't wait. I didn't dream about it. I didn't even dream I'm going to be an attorney one day. I went to college. I was finishing school. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with my life, so I continued just educating myself. Right. You can never be overeducated. So I went to law school. When I came out of law school, I wanted to be a sports agent. I live for sports. Nothing would be more amazing.
Sports agent.
I live for sports. I love sports. One thing led to another. A couple of my friends who were going to be professional athletes got hurt. I had an opportunity with a friend of mine. He gave me my first job. I came out of school knowing nothing about nothing, just like all students, because what you learn in school and what you learn in life are two different things. I came out of law school as a bank attorney, representing a lender, doing about 80 closings a month, knowing nothing about nothing. Kind of got just thrown in the fire. I was blessed to be surrounded with some incredible people, and one thing led to another. I opened my own firm, and the rest is history.
You've told me a pretty crazy story. I always there's
A lot of them.
there's a lot of new guys that, whether they come to work for me or I'm talking to them about whatever they're going through in their business, and people tend to get, I don't know if the word is greed when it comes to trying to be successful, but you told a pretty amazing story about, I think it was one of your first deals where you ended up driving a couple hours, maybe upstate,
Oh,
then you came back and
Oh,
the
yeah.
loan was canceled or something. Tell us a little bit about
listen.
getting into the business, how something like that, how'd you deal with
Anything
that?
in life, nothing amazing is easy, right?
Yeah.
Because if it was easy, everybody would be doing it.
Right.
And amazing things don't happen overnight. When I first came out of school, this is the 2 cycles ago. Everyone was refinancing. This is over 20 years
Yeah.
ago. And I was a young kid, working hard. I went to do a refinance at somebody's home. I think it was an hour and a half away. And another refinance an hour further than that, which is 2.5 hours away. And another one after that, so it was 3, which is 3.5 hours away. By the time I got home in my not so incredible, reliable car at 21 years old, I got home at like 2, 3 in the morning. I'm pretty sure I got stuck once or twice in the snow shoveling out. And I said, this is an amazing day. I had 3 closings. I had 3, per diem fees.
Right.
And I woke up the next day and all 3 of them rescinded. So I didn't just not make any money. I lost money.
Oh, 6
sure.
hours to
Each way. Oh, I came home in the middle of the night. But it's okay. It builds who you are today. I really, honestly, although I've been through a lot of trials and tribulations in my life.
Yeah.
I wouldn't change anything I've been through. It made me who I am. And you have to go through tough times in life sometimes, to realize certain things.
And that leads to other opportunity.
To realize just how lucky you are. I never take anything in my life for granted, and nobody really should. In our life, we're not guaranteed anything, and things can change in 1 second. And when they change, and when they do, so you take nothing for granted, and stay humble. You continue to work hard. You continue to always keep your foot down on the pedal. Because if you don't, there's going to be another younger Dean who's right behind you who's going to look to take what's yours. So, and I have this conversation with my son, Gavin.
Yeah.
My son is extremely talented, extremely bright. But I tell him, Gavin, just because you're smart and bright doesn't mean you can leave your foot off the pedal. Because as soon as you do,
There's somebody
there's
that
going to be somebody like me who's going to keep his foot down the pedal. I'm going to fly right by you. And that's really the case for everything in life. So I wouldn't change anything that I've been through. It kind of just educated me and made me who I am today. I feel very blessed.
yeah, of course.
And I take what I've been through and I learn from it.
That's unbelievable to hear that from somebody, like yourself. I know, I think recently you've also, not recently, you've expanded your business in different places
Yeah,
of the island. How are you juggling all of that with also, you
simple.
brought up your son, being a parent?
Simple. I have amazing people in my life. They make it all happen.
How's your routine? How do you start your day? Are you that early riser in the gym every morning?
I'm an early riser, and not to knock anybody who doesn't wake up early, but
You got to knock them. They deserve to be
in
a
my
little bit
humble
knocked.
opinion, to be very successful, and I meet, listen, everyone is different, right? So not everyone has to be the same. Not everyone thinks the same.
Right.
And that's what makes the world go round, right? Because if we were all the same, the world would be boring.
That's what I'm learning in my young age. Not everybody's going to be like you. I
No.
always take that to
And I
heart.
don't want them to be like me.
Right.
I really, truly don't. I do wish everybody the best, but I don't want 28 Souths running around. I really don't. But I wake up very early. I usually go to the gym. I get into my office, and I like getting my day started before the rest of the world is up.
Right.
I get to catch up on things. I get to oversee certain things. I get my day lined up, and when the world wakes up, I'm ready to roll.
You're rolling already.
And it's always been my nature. I have a lot of energy. I've been like this since I was a little boy. I don't like sitting on my ass and doing nothing. I like being productive at all times. Well, even if it's sitting here, whether it be reading or educating or learning or watching something, it's just my mind's always going. And knowing how I grew up, and I grew up very poor, and what I've been through in my life to be here, I really take nothing for granted. And as I've gotten older, I enjoy nice things, and I enjoy success. But it comes with a price, consistency. That's what most people don't understand is consistency. Consistency overpowers a lot of things. If you keep on doing it every single day,
Right.
you have to be consistent. You're gonna have to sacrifice sometimes. Being successful isn't easy. You're gonna have to sacrifice. You're gonna have to give up some things. There are gonna be days where things aren't gonna be easy. But as long as you continue to be consistent and you surround yourself with passionate, like-minded people, there's really nothing you can't achieve over time.
Yeah, no, of course. And especially with, someone like you and even, somebody like myself, younger in this type of business that we're in, juggling all the time, trying to spend time with the family. I know I have a daughter and, I try to make as much time as I possibly can to make that a priority in my life because as much as all this business and, all that stuff matters.
Well, sometimes in life you have to go through things
Yeah.
right, to teach you, right?
Right.
So about 9 years ago, I got divorced. Thank God for me, my ex-wife is an amazing woman, and my divorce was relatively smooth and very amicable.
Yeah.
But what I learned from my divorce was balance. Most people don't have balance. In our real estate world, if you allow it to, it will take over your life.
Yeah.
If you allow it to.
Right.
Okay. So what I learned was balance. And once I learned balance at the age of 37, when I got divorced, my life went like this. And I'm not saying it's easy, but I balanced four things evenly. I balanced being a good daddy, and because our children deserve that.
Yeah.
Okay. I balanced being healthy, and I learned that when I won the Man of the Year campaign, because without your health, you're nothing.
You see all those
You could have a zillion
Get it.
trillion dollars if you're not healthy. There are certain diseases and illnesses they can't treat.
Right.
I concentrate on being the best lawyer I can because I enjoy it. I like nice things, and I'm responsible for a lot of people. And whatever woman I'm with, if I'm with somebody at the time, I give her the time she deserves, because she deserves that. So I balance those three or four things evenly, because if I'm not, I'm either taking away time from my children, or my health, or my business,
Right.
or the person with, and they're all very important. Like each one of them are important, but they're not your life. Like your job is not your life; it's part of your life. Your health is not your life, but it's been a very important part. Your business is not your life, but it's very so. And I'm not saying it's easy, but I help people, or I try to help people balance. And when I speak to younger men and women such as yourself, I love helping because when I was your age, I had nobody to teach me anything. There was no social media, there was no Googling, there was no nothing. You just kind of thrown in the fire, and you went through it, and either you learned from it and you improved, or you got buried from it. So I'm not saying I wish I had me. I wish I had somebody mentoring me like I would enjoy doing it to you
Yeah, yeah.
and the other people in my life that are important to me. So that way you don't have to go through the things that I went through.
Right.
Imagine I didn't have to go through some of the things I went through. My life would be different, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't take it back. I'm not mad about it. It's
Yeah, you can't take
just the
things.
world I
Of
grew up
course.
in. There was no social media. The world was different. Our family orientation was different. But I have people that I talk to all the time about life, their relationship, their clothes, what they do. I enjoy it. It brings me joy. And I know that as long as you are open to listening and follow it, you won't have to go through all the things I went through.
Right.
And, and you'll be in a better position.
It's an amazing way to give back. I feel like such an important, not important, such a relevant topic that people talk about nowadays is the work life balance for young people that want to be successful. And that's something that I always struggle with, trying
Most
to,
people do.
yeah, trying to be successful. You,
Most,
you, you know what kind of has to be a priority because in our real estate business, like you said, if the pedal's not to the metal, there's somebody like ourselves that's going to
and
blow
I have
right
these
by you.
conversations with people who are in their 20s, their 30s, their 40s, their 50s, because in our world, the real estate world's always, when some professions are off on Saturday and Sunday, our profession is still rolling with open houses and offers, and people want to talk to you and they have a question, they want to get pre-approved, blah, blah, blah. And it's a balance. And I'm not saying it's easy, and it's a little bit of a science, but once I learned balance, my life went from up here to up there.
Yeah. Do you think balance only happens after you become financially successful, though? Like how do you tell a
That
young?
that helps
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah,
Because I look back to myself, before I got divorced, and I said, well, if I would have spent more time at home, right, would my career be where it was? Maybe,
that's
maybe not.
yeah,
Would my marriage be where it is? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know.
yeah,
Uh, and you bring up a great point because when you're young, right, and you're starting off in your life, in your profession, in your career, you got to put in the time. You don't get in.
What are you balancing if there's nothing to balance? It's like
You got to try to find a
right,
way. And listen, your partner also is an important factor
right,
because your partner, I'm not gonna say if they love you, because it doesn't mean they don't love you, but they have to have some sort of understanding, right, of what you have to put in to get to where you want to be.
right.
Again, nothing amazing is easy. So you bring up a great point, and the partner, the person you're with, is a factor. If you have a partner that needs you there every single second, it's going to stump your development. It's going to stump your growth. And then you have to make a choice on what you want to do, you know. Um, and for some people, the career path is more important. To some people, the family part is more. I mean, I have some of my friends are so family oriented, and it blows them away the amount I work. They
Yeah,
enjoy coming home at 5 o'clock
yeah.
and spending time with their family or watching television or whatnot. I said everyone is different.
I don't knock those people. I have plenty of friends that get home at 2, 3 o'clock. They're
Uh,
confused about my lifestyle. They're like, "How the fuck do you do what you do?"
you know,
And
the world, everyone is different. Everyone's entitled to feel
everyone's
differently
different.
and think differently. And again, it's what makes the world go round. We wouldn't want everyone like us.
No,
You know,
like you said before, definitely not.
and again, it took years to get to have the mindset that I did. I had to go through a lot of things in my life, a lot of goods and bads. From a boy, to moving to this country, to my parents getting divorced when I was a little kid,
Yeah,
to me being divorced. Uh, but I learned from what I've been through, and thank God, I try to make the most of it, so I would improve after I went through those situations. And I do whatever I can to help friends and people in life, such as yourself.
yeah,
I mean, I wish I had me to talk to when I went through these things. Maybe I would have taken different roads, different paths, you know. But I don't dwell on it. I'm grateful for what I've been through. I'm grateful and blessed to be where I am, and just happy and positive. I'm ready to roll. I'm ready to take over the world.
Did you ever think about if it wasn't being an attorney? Was it sports? Like, was there ever a different path that you were
Um,
considering going down beside?
I love sports. If it wasn't real estate law, it used to be
It would have been some other
sports
type of.
entertainment attorney.
Okay.
I mean, I negotiate contracts now for
Yeah,
a
yeah.
living, right? So I couldn't picture anything better.
Can't hurt to negotiate $1 billion MLB contract,
Doing,
right?
doing the clothing for somebody for the Brooklyn Nets tomorrow.
Wow.
I couldn't picture me, Asaf, doing anything, and I'm very blessed to be where I am. But for me personally, I couldn't fathom uh, enjoying more than being a sports and entertainment attorney. I already negotiate contracts,
Yeah.
right? And I live for sports.
Right.
I don't watch television. I'm on ESPN all the time. So to be in the life of hanging out with athletes and things that I live for and negotiating contracts, and in life you can only control you, right? I
Right.
can only control me. I can't control the weather. I can't control politics. Can't control our government. I won't fail. So if I put this enthused and this energy into that life and been doing that for 20-something years, I'd be pretty excited. I'd be pretty excited.
No, of course. No, that's unbelievable. I listen, as we kind of finish things up tonight, I wanted to something I feel like in our business that's been, with real estate agents and with really loan officers, I feel like the last year or so is I forget the stat that however many agents, like 70 or 80% of agents won't renew their license next year, and it works the same in my business on the mortgage side of things. What's some advice you would give to either maybe an agent or a loan officer who's been struggling during these challenging times? I always say you have to keep the pedal to the metal. To come out of a business when things get challenging, you can't ever expect success. How are you going to get to the other end of the tunnel to see the light at the end of the tunnel if you don't get through the adversity and the challenges? But you've been through this. I've never been through a time like this.
Yeah, I'm on my third cycle. But
Is this cycle like those other cycles?
no, they've all been different,
They've all been different.
in my
Yeah.
opinion. But this I've never seen.
And I hear that from people now. They've never seen this. People I've been in business with that said they've seen everything before. This is something they've
Without
never
getting
seen.
into politics, I've just never
Yeah, yeah.
seen what's going on now. Between the interest rates being the highest they've been in 23 years. I read an article that said there's 500,000 homes on the market in the United States. That's almost zero.
Yeah, there was millions.
It's terrible, right? So with interest rates being high, highest they've been in 23 years, and not being any homes out there, the market's not incredible.
But I know you look at these times as opportunities. From what we've
I
talked
do.
about.
So what I did, I took a couple of opportunities, a couple of risks in myself. Again, we could only control ourselves.
Yeah.
So one, I opened that office on the North Fork in Mattatuck on Love Lane. I took a risk in myself. So the way I look at it is, there's less business out there. That's it. All right. Nobody can tell you otherwise. So my goal was to go get more of what's out there. Okay. So what I did was I opened the office on the North Fork, and I'm getting business from a stream that I've never gotten business from. Because in the North Fork, you have to have more of a presence in being Asaf or going to wherever you went to college.
Right.
You need to be there. You have to be entrenched. And so I opened an office there. This month is 12 months there. And I thank God and amazing people in my life. It's generated a tremendous amount of business that I wouldn't have gotten if I wasn't there.
Fantastic.
The second risk I took on myself is we hired our first bilingual attorney. Another thing I've never had in my
amazing.
career. Okay.
I did that recently too. I brought somebody bilingual in the office, and it really opens up.
For 20-something years, I had clients and real estate professionals try to refer clients to me, and my business, my reputation, being the best I could be is so important. If I couldn't speak to them, how could I represent them?
Right.
So I declined it. For 20 years, I said no, 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 no. And so we hired our first bilingual attorney who was incredible, and it opened up another stream of business that I never got before. So although there's less out there, I went out and I got more of what is out there. Okay, it's really all I did. Again, it wasn't magical. I didn't reinvent, electricity. I just went out and I did something about it. And that goes back to, what do you tell these people, or the agents, the professional during
People want to make money right now, and it just doesn't work that way. You got to put some
listen,
time in.
Again, nothing amazing is over there. I've been doing this for a long time. I'm still the first one in the building, right? I still do my stuff. I don't take pictures because I do it for myself. I'm at that building at times on Saturday or Sunday and I'm the only car in the parking lot
Yeah.
of 400 cars, and I'm the only one there. And I've been doing this longer than all of them.
Yeah.
Why am I there? That's just what you have to do during these times, right? If you're willing to put in that time and you're willing to grind, people are always going to be buying homes. Whether the rates are 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, people have to live somewhere. They're going to be buying homes. So the goal is for them to hire me when they buy that home.
100%.
And you got to just put in that time. And, it's just, first, I love what I do, I enjoy it. And by just showing up is half the battle. When COVID hit and our real estate world closed for 6 weeks or 7 weeks, I went to work every day. Okay. Now again, I learned how important health was, so my staff work remotely. But in our building, there was an essential worker. I was there every day. Do you know how much business I got by just showing up? I had real estate professionals who never referred me called me and said, Asaf, you're open? Can you represent our clients? Absolutely. And I got their business only because I showed up, because the other people that they worked with in the past were home. And if it wasn't for just going to work, I wouldn't have got that business. And all you could ever ask for in your life is an opportunity. Right? So they gave me an opportunity to represent their client. And once the doors opened up, our service retained them forever. So while the world was shut down, I was working and making a good living by simply showing up.
By just showing up.
I didn't do anything special. I just went to work.
It's a-
Well,
it's
so,
truly amazing.
and all these little things add up. And they're not magical, but you got to put in the time. You got to be consistent. You got to be able to sacrifice sometimes. And, you got to just surround yourself with incredible people. And that's one of the hard parts, finding those people. Because incredible people they're not as easy to find as you would think in this world.
No, and like you said, once you have them, you have to do everything you can to
Oh, I've
keep
been
those
truly
people.
blessed. I'm a super blessed guy. I wouldn't be where I am today without them. There's no doubt about it.
Well, listen, I think it's a great way to wrap up tonight's episode. I really appreciate you again taking the time to
Appreciate
sit
being
down here tonight. I'm honored to have the opportunity to do business with somebody like you in the business, and
Honor is mine as well.
I hope our relationship continues to, grow, and
It will continue to
big-
grow
bigger
and
and better
flourish, and I
things
look
for the
forward to
future.
doing my part and helping take your business to the next level.
I appreciate
it. It brings me true joy.
I appreciate that,
It
brother.
really does.
That's it.